Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Dech Teck. I am Dell, and today we're going to talk about my Smeagol Helpful Guide deck. Smeagol is a Halfling Horror, 4/2 Halfling Horror. For one, a black and a green. I have two arts here because I can't decide which one I like more. At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died on your controller's turn, the ring tempts you. And when the ring tempts you, target opponent reveals cards from the top of their library until they reveal a land card. Put that card on the battlefield tapped under your control. The rest into your graveyard. Or into their graveyard, sorry. So, just a real quick, I'm going to stick these back here. The ring temp mechanic, if you're not aware, based on my limited interaction and knowledge of it, you get an emblem named the ring. If you don't have one, then your emblem gains its next ability. Choose a creature. Tempt you even if you don't control a creature. Ring gains abilities in order from top to bottom. Once gaining its ability, it has the ability for the rest of the game. Each time the ring tempts you, you must choose a creature if you control one. So if you do control a creature, you have to. You can't just say, I don't want to. Each player can only have one emblem named the ring and only one ring bearer at a time. The abilities are such. First one is ring bearer is legendary. It can't be blocked by creatures with greater power. Gives it kind of that skulk ability, which I kind of like. When your ring bearer attacks, draw a card, discard a card. It's the next attempt ability. Third one is when the ring bearer becomes blocked by a creature, that creature's controller sacrifices it at the end of combat. And the final one is when your ring bearer deals combat damage to a player, each opponent loses 3 life. It's a pretty neat ability. I'll be honest with you, I built this deck not really caring too much about these, more so about the ability when you get to mill your opponents out every time it tempts you. Now, I wanted to go through this real quick just to kind of show the deck off, of course, and show a little bit of the tech that I put into it. But also, I played this on a stream recently with Kurohitsuki. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I'll link the game in the comments. But my fatal flaw was not being able to find my Viscerus here and putting this guy in here. This guy was the placeholder for it. Couldn't find it. So this deck is going to get upgraded, of course, retooled. And this is the first thing that's going to get fixed is this is going to be a Viscerus here from now on, as soon as I find my copy. But name of the game is let my guys die as fast as possible to tempt myself with the ring and then mill up people for lands. I also plan on putting better creatures in here. You'll see later with the Dech Teck. Bigger, better monsters to be able to cast and so on. But there is the capacity for an infinite combo that Viscerus here, of all things, would have enabled, as well as some better cards. But I had a really fun game. I can't wait for you guys to watch it too. It's a really fun game. This is one of those things that still haunts me. This stupid guy. I love this set. I love this card, but gosh darn it, just would have been, you know. So first up, we have creatures in the deck. We have Liliana Steward. Sacrifice it to discard a card. Again, just really in there for creature hitting the graveyard. Had to put this in here for flavor. Also, really like this art. When leaves the battlefield, there's a ring temp trigger. Also, sacrifice a creature to bounce it back. So this goes in the graveyard, comes back, bounce it a few times, or was the plan at least. Grump, little alternate art Spore Frog here, final combat damage. Really like this ability. As you can see in my Ishkana deck that I should have posted by now. If you have a green mana open with Dell in the game, you're probably going to get fogged. That's just the name of the game. Illuminator Xeris from the Necron deck. Sacrifice another creature, add amount of mana. Again, just for a nice sack outlet. We got Steve, I believe he's called, Secure Tribe Elder. Searching for basically land after you sacrifice, put in the battlefield. Tapped. But another little death trigger for you. Same with this guy. Put in the graveyard for play, search your library for 2 basic lands, reveal them, put them in your hand, and it has a built-in sacrifice trigger to draw a card. Blood Pet, another one of my favorite cards from the older sets. Again, sacrifice ability, add some mana, but more than anything, just trying to kill something, right? Those are my big sack outlets. Not very good. I built this deck. I was brewing it for a while. Got invited on the stream. It was a Lord of the Rings themed deck. Threw some cards in here that aren't great. Kind of finished it up. Did pretty good. I'm proud of myself, but like I said, that not being a Viscerus here will haunt me for a while. Of course, the career fix, of course, land triggers, entering the battlefield, play the top card of the library, play its land. Got some of our other landfall triggers in here. Venture of Zendikar. When it enters the battlefield, you get a bunch of plants, which is really great if I'm stealing a bunch of people's lands. But also when lands enter the battlefield, all my plants get a +1/+1 counter. Lotus Cobra, landfall, get a mana of any color when it enters the battlefield. Here is part of the combo that I'm going to show you. I'm going to put off to the side. We'll talk about it towards the end. Where every time a land enters the battlefield, if you don't control Ring Bearer, the ring tempts you. So there is, but there we'll get into it a little bit. We have a landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield control, create a food token or a treasure token. This point's going to usually be treasures. Get some extra mana. Got a nice signed Rampaging Baloths. Landfall ability, every time land enters the battlefield under control, put a 4/4 green beast token on the battlefield. This helps the combo a little bit, we'll get into. Generating a token every time a land enters. This one, this baby here, almost got me the game. I had so many dang insects, because once they Scoot Swarm, land enters the battlefield, make an insect, then they control 6 or more lands, and instead becomes a copy of Scoot Swarm. So I could make a crap ton of these guys. So much fun. I love this card. Get Rig Monster. Another one of my favorites. Like I said, reworking this deck, he might go back into being the commander. It's just a really good card. And Smeagol is very nice, but having the whole deck built around ring tempts, I don't know. Maybe I'll make it a modal, switch between the two. But he had to be in the main deck for now, because of the land triggers, where I can sacrifice it or land, play an additional land each turn. One or more lands are put in my grave from anywhere, I can draw a card. This is nice if I put more land sacrifice in here. I can take people's lands, sacrifice it, and then draw some cards. Terastodon. This is actually part of my Secret Santa gift this year I got. You can see the 30th anniversary stamp on it. Kind of flavored for Lord of the Rings for an only font. That was my justification at first, but then I just really like the destruction ability. Being able to blow stuff is one of the bigger cards in here. When I get all those lands, I can have some answers for non-creature permanents at least. This is also part of the combo. I'll put this off to the side too, but Mirkwood Bats. Really thought this would be worth more by now, but I'm kind of happy it's cheap because it can go in a few of my decks, and some of my decks care about it. My Quarter Commander cares about the card being cheap. I need this to stay down now that I think about it, but when I create or sacrifice a token, each opponent loses 1 life. We'll put that off to the side for discussion later. Ophiomancer, sort of like before, we talked about generating tokens. This, and I believe Jadar is the next one. Oh, excuse me. Make a token each turn for sacrifice abilities, for tempting abilities. Really useful to have. Worldbreaker, really underrated in land decks. I don't know if people really sleep on this or not, I can't be honest with you. But cast it, you can exile something, artifact, enchantment, land. But that 2 and a colorless ability to sacrifice a land, turn from a graveyard to hand is really nice to be able to get it back if I would need it. Not world breaking, but a really good card nonetheless. And another regret I have is I had these two these 2 promos from back in the day that I just keep trying to find a deck to put them because I love these cards. You can see the little foiling on it is beautiful. Needed some last minute Eldrazi in here to have some big beefy guys to be able to end the game once I have a bunch of mana, but let's be honest, probably better ones to pick. But Artisan Kozilek may return, when he cast it, may return to a creature from your graveyard to battlefield, Annihilator 2, it's 10-9. And Pathrazer of Ulamog, can't be busted by 3 or more creatures, and Annihilator 3. It's a 9-9. Not too bad, but like I said, there's probably better choices for Eldrazi, of course. But that was what I chose for this deck at this point. Next we get to enchantments. Again, landfall ability. Again, making tokens, be able to tempt the ring, become the ring bearer, and then be able to sacrifice it. Awakening Zone would have been really great to see. Same thing. Give it the ability, sacrifice it on the spot for its own ability. Compost is a card I love putting in green decks. Got this really nice F&M promo. Put all my good cards here because it's what I could find first, instead of digging through everything. Should have planned better, but I'm not that kind of person. But black cards put in their opponent's grave from anywhere, draw a card. Would have done well if you're playing against black, but this one might actually get cut for some better stuff. Death Reap Ritual. Again, each end stuff a creature dies turn, draw a card. Kind of playing with the creatures dying, get a little extra bonus. And the other main thing in my deck, I don't think I brought up yet, is the Graveyard Hate. We have Ground Seal here, there's there's a battlefield, draw a card. Cards and creatures can't be the target of spells or abilities. Even though I have some of my own here, it's nice to be able to fill people's graveyards and not actually help them at all. So I got a few more coming up like that too. Call of the Ring, one of my favorite cards from this set. This art is beautiful. Got a nice F&M promo, or the pre-release promo rather. Begin my people get a free Ring Tempt, helps with Smeagol, and choose creatures. Ringberry, pay 2 life and draw a card. Got some really good use out of this during the game. Actually, was able to play it, and of course, more on theme for the deck than anything. One ring to rule them all. The ring tempts you on your first thing for the saga. Second one, destroy. Oh wait, and each player mills cards equal to Ringbearer's power. Haven't played it yet, didn't really notice that second part. Read the cards. Destroy all non-legendary creatures. Next ability. And its ultimate is each opponent loses 1 life for each creature card in that player's graveyard. This would be nice if you got enough stuff in the graveyard to really be able to bop them in the face. Now another card I was really excited to put in here, not only for the landfall ability, but just for the deck theme. Nissa of the Shadowed Bowels. It's a landfall ability, landfall ability. Land enters battlefield under my control, put a loyalty counter on her. She comes in with 4, has a +1 untapped target land control, have become a 3/3 elemental creature token with haste mist on a turn, still land, and it has an ultimate for -5. A creature card with mana value less than or equal to the number of lands you control in the battlefield from your hand or graveyard, onto the battlefield with 2 +1/+1 counters. This did some work. I got this out for a bit. That landfall really did some good stuff with the milling and everything else. I really like this deck. I don't want to get rid of it fully, but I do want to record what I have in it right now for posterity, future reference. I don't know. I'll save the deck list as well, and then as I update it, I might go back and look at this. But I have another good treasure in here. Diabolic Tutor. Got this signed by Eliana and Chase. They were very nice to me at the Baltimore Command Fest I met them at. Super excited to have them sign us, and I think they had a good time too. That they enjoyed the flavor of it. We have some searches. Diabolic Tutor, Demonic Tutor, Profane Tutor also got signed by Richard Kane Ferguson, and Crack the Vault again from that. I don't think I actually bought this one. I think somebody gave it to me because I don't like Fortnite. This is a Fortnite one, I believe. The other one was I forget the game. Then we have Green Sun Zenith again, being able to dump a bunch of mana into it, as well as I thought I had the other one in here too. Green Sun Zenith, able to search out my combo pieces if I need to. Dig Up, really cool card. Like the art on this too. Has that ability first introduced in the Mystery Boosters, weird little bracket text. I like that. I hope they bring that back. But Cleave, I guess it's called. But help you search. Renewal, another card I really enjoy. I don't get to play in too many decks, but sacrifice a land and search your land library for basic land, put it directly into play. Doesn't count towards your land turn limit. Reshuffle your library and then draw a card. I like this in decks where I want to sack other people's lands. I have this in a few other ones, but love the art, love this artist, I love the ability. And this is one of those cards people have to read because they're like, what are you doing over there? And I dropped the last card in the sorceries pile. Ring Goes South. Put this in here really for the first line. The ring tempts you. A little bop in the pot. I don't know how to say that. I don't know what I'm talking about. But then reveal cards top your library. If X land cards, X number of legendary creatures you control. Put those lands on the battle for tap. The rest in the bottom of your library. Decent enough ability, but I'm not crazy about it. And then next is Instance. We have some of our removal. Abrupt Decay. Shouldn't need introduction. Corrosive Grip. Good for artifacts and enchantments. Putrefy. Artifacts and creatures. Return to Nature. One of my recent favorites is like the little modes on there. Artifact enchantment or exile from graveyard. It's really useful in a pinch. Oh, there it is. Court of Calling. That was a sorcery. Same thing, searching out combo pieces. Being able to dump some mana in there to get something good. We have another search, Worldly Tutor. Again, combo pieces. Vampiric Tutor. Crop rotation, sacrificing somebody else's land I'm borrowing in order to get something more for me. Bombadil Song, again in here mostly for net. Mostly in it for the ring tempting me line, but it's good to give something hexproof and plus on the turn. More the hexproof is more useful, but and of course, don't trust Dell with an open green mana, because I usually put Fog in my decks. It's one of those cards that I love putting in the decks because no one really assumes, no one expects it. A little Spanish Inquisition. I don't know what more to say about that. Up next, artifacts. Here we have some more sack outlets, we'll call it, but also another weakness I have of this deck where I'm missing the Phyrexian Altar, which would have done a lot better for this, but I have a few other ones which just let me sacrifice something, but the one where you don't have to pay anything is probably the most useful, like Phyrexian Altar or Astronaut's Altars in here. But up first we have, I thought this was foil, Golden Throne. If you lose the game, exile it, let till it becomes 1. Again, sacrificing something to be able to make mana. Whether it is Ashnod's Altar, make 2 mana, sacrifice something. Mana Rock, Inherited Envelope, Ring Tempting You, very good for this deck. Mox Amber, Mana Rock, Romantic Lantern, everyone's favorite. Really like the art on this one. Also really good from barring other people's lands where if they can't make the color I need, hey, bada bing, Arcane Signet, Commander Sphere, Soul Ring, Golgari Signet, Talisman of Resilience, and on to some more of our grave hate. We got Grafdigger's Cage. Creature cards can't enter the battlefield from graveyards to libraries, which kind of hurts me a little bit. And players can't cast cards in graveyards or libraries. So have Silent Gravestone. Cards in graveyards can't be the target spells or abilities, and has a exile effect there for me. I need to get rid of somebody's stuff. Got some pumps. Black Blade Reforged. Plus for each land control, which can profit very well from this deck. Helm of the Host, making other copies of my Smeagol. And one of my favorite cards, I got this new art. Really nice to put in here. Smokestack. Beginning of your upkeep, you may put a soot counter on Smokestack. Beginning of each player's upkeep, the player sacrifices a permanent for each soot counter on Smokestack. Again, creature sacrifice triggers, and I'll be sacrificing people's lands because I don't care about your land. You're going to care about your lands. You're going to be sacrificing your stuff more than I will mine. Fun little card. I will be keeping that one in this deck. And up last, we got the lands. Put these away real quick. We got a really cool art for Overgrown Tomb. We got Command Tower. I like how it kind of like misprints, like 2 gold. Death Cap Glade. Nurturing Peatland. Tainted Wood. Twilight Mire. Landowner Waste. Those are all the green-black lands. Again, I probably could have a better land base, but excuse me. This deck is going to get worked on. This is my first run at it. Gotta reach Sanitarium. Everybody draws a card, discards a card. This is like the utility land suite. Another sack outlet for Phyrexian Tower. Got some land search, Ash Barrens, Fatal Passage, Pragmatic Vista. We got everyone gets swamps or forests. Again, more to help my borrowing lands to be able to make the mana I need. And the basics. I used all the Lord of the Ring non-full art lands. Just a couple in there. You can check the counts of everything in the deck list that I'll post below as well. But the exciting thing, the combo. So Smeagol has the ability, beginning of every end step, creature down your controller's turn or tempts you. Not too bad, but the second half still gets broken. Every time the ring tempts you, somebody has to mill their library until they get a land, and then I get the land. This has the ability where land enters a battlefield you control. If you don't control a ring bearer, the ring tempts you. Where I made the mistake in the video, as you'll see, I didn't read the second part of the card. I just like got tempted every dang time. Do whatever you want, right? The trick is you get the first one. Somebody dies, and you're end step. Or one of the other ones happens. Either way. You mill something. You get the land. Trigger. You sacrifice whoever's your ring bearer at that point, right? They go to the graveyard. You get a new ring bearer. Happens again, right? Sacrifice happens. Land enters the battlefild. Am I illustrating that right? Right. So every time something dies... Oh, no, the death trigger doesn't happen. I'm being silly. Just that whenever the ring tempts you. So, you get a land, comes in, it goes to tempt you. You sacrifice whoever's the ring bearer. It gives you a new ring tempt. Another land comes in. Sacrifice it. Ring tempt. Back and forth till, either they run out of lands in the library or they mill themselves out, right? The other combo was, I didn't realize till far too late, was I should have searched this guy out, played him earlier or whatever, because every time a token comes in, everybody's losing a life. Every time I sacrifice a token, everyone's losing a life. So I could be pinging everyone for damage. I had Scoot Swarm out, had, the one that makes the elementals, the enchantment. I am blanking. Zendikar is royal. Hell. This guy would have been out 2, making a 2/2 every time. Could come in, tempt it, sack it, another land, token, tempt it, sack it, another land. Really good if it worked. But I'm happy with how it performed for the most part. Did not win, but had a great time. Made some new friends. And, of course, got to play one of my favorite little goblin characters. Not a goblin, it's a halfling, but you know what I'm talking about. The weird, creepy guy that, I don't know, for some reason I just like. But that's the deck. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys got some ideas for your own decks out there. Like I said, I'm going to be updating that soon enough in the future. Or just dismantling. I don't know yet. I got too many Golgari decks, and I'm building a Golem deck too. So will I be the weirdo with one Golem and one Smeagol deck? Probably. Maybe I should just keep them in the same box. Keep it together. Either way, hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think of it. I think I explained the combo right, but I'll be honest with you, I'm just a little drunk, a little tired. I had a long week, but I wanted to get some content out. I had a weekend off, as it were, so get some stuff out. Like grind set, right? So, till next time, love you.